This is Lehigh Valley Political Pulse. I'm Tom Shortell. Each week, political scientist Chris Borick joins me to discuss the latest scientific-based research related to public opinion. We dive into the local, state, and national levels and what it all means for you. Donald Trump made a lot of big pledges while running for his second term. Now he'll have a Republican-controlled Congress, a conservative Supreme Court, and 4 years to make good on those promises. Chris, most politicians running for office make promises. How important is it for them in general to deliver on those promises?
Tom, it's certainly important. You make claims, you make promises during an election that the public generally expects, and I use the word generally, expects you to act on. It's not perfect connection that they say, okay, this is what you said, it must come out this way, and that's governing, right? It's different than campaigning. Governing is different. You'll now look and see if he could deliver.
Delivering on those promises aren't always within a president's immediate control. So I'm going to ask you to break out your crystal ball, and we're going to review some of these pledges that he's made and see what you think he can do to make that happen, or if it's feasible or not. So let's start off with immigration. Trump has called for mass deportations to remove millions of people living illegally in this country. That includes an estimated 170,000 people living in Pennsylvania. Will he act on that?
He will act on the broader claim to deport individuals living in the country illegally. He will act on that. I think anybody that believes he can act on the scale that he promised or said he would aim for is probably going to be disappointed.
Shifting gears, Trump has called for 10% tariffs on all imports and 60% tariffs on imports from China. Senator-elect Dave McCormick made a lot of promises about getting tough on China, but do you think he and other lawmakers will be on board with across-the-board tariffs?
Just like with the case of deportation, do I think there'll be some type of tariffs that emerge? Absolutely. You made the promise. You have to do it. Again, will it be more on the show basis than a deep and broad tariff regime that would be put into place? I think it's probably going to be closer to the show tariff. Pick a couple of things, make it clear, show the Chinese that look, we're putting tariffs on this to make your case, we're being strong.
Trump has promised to bring peace to the globe, particularly in Ukraine and Gaza. American troops are not deployed in either theater, so Trump will need to rely on diplomacy to make that happen. Are the odds in his favor on those?
These are difficult, challenging, sometimes generational, historic conflicts with deep, complex roots. The president-elect has made a pitch that he, just being elected, he will solve the problem in those situations. Might there be actions based on Trump coming into power that the various players, Ukraine, Russia, Israel, and the Palestinian authorities, how they might react to this in his arrival and make some changes? I think there's lots of potential for that, right? We see changes in administration lead to changes in actions. Given the nature of those complex conflicts, it's I'd say something like it's easier said than done. We'll see what his type of pressure he can come to bear. While President Trump fashions himself as kind of a transactional leader, I'll make a deal. Maybe he can make deals in these situations. There'll be challenging situations to make deals, so we'll see.
That's Muhlenberg College political science professor Chris Borick. This has been Lehigh Valley Political Pulse. I'm Tom Shortell. For an extended version of this interview, visit LehighValleyNews.com.